Today is part 3 of looking back at my past. Hey you guys, it's your girl Cosmix Wonderland, and we seriously need to talk. I know that I've been putting this video off. I always put these videos off because they're extremely hard and painful, and like I always say, and I just want to get on into it, is I just hope that these videos help, and that's all. I just want to get on with it. So all of the things that went terribly wrong and why I still suffer with anxiety and depression from time to time, and the little voice inside the back of my head that tells me, even though my life is great, even though I'm loved, even though I have friends, even though there's so much to be grateful for, that a part of me still feels worthless. And this may be triggering for a lot of people suffering with mental illness and just mental health and just past life issues, problems from your past that no matter how much you want to just leave the baggage in the past and be so connected and grateful for what's happening right now, I feel selfish that I still feel this way from time to time, even though my life is so wonderful. And there's so many people that are dealing with things right now, and I'm complaining and I am traumatized and I am still deeply affected by my past. And it's the past. I should be able to let it go and get over it, and it's really not that easy. And so we're just gonna get on with more of what I struggle with and what has happened to me in my past that still deeply, deeply affects me and my mental growth to this day. And I shouldn't say this. I'm working to make this not my life outcome, but I really seriously worry that I'm gonna be struggling with these things for the rest of my life. And it's over, it's done, it's in the past, but I just can't let it go. I just can't move on. I can't forgive. Like, what does that even mean? To me, forgiving everyone that has hurt me in my life, especially Mitch, it means that I either don't remember what happened or I don't care anymore. I'm sorry, I shut the door because I don't want the AC messing up the audio, but it's either that I forget or I don't care anymore, or that I'm giving them a pass. I'm letting them know. I'm trying to convince myself that it's okay, and I'm trying to come to the realization of what forgiving really means, and what do I have to do to give myself peace? I've had an amazing day, and there's no reason that I should feel this way, but I do, and it creeps up on me, and I hate it. I absolutely hate feeling this way. I've had a bottle of wine today. I'm not encouraging it, but I have really severe anxiety. I have some depression, and I get into these days where we are always told to portray our lives as perfect and happy and upbeat and everything's good, even when it's not. And I have been making these videos because I want you guys to get to know me more, and I think a big part of realizing who I am is understanding where I've come from. Okay, we're gonna get into when my parents with, oh god, you guys know how I feel about that. They do not deserve that title. But some new stuff has come to light. I'm remembering so much. Every week I just remember more and more about what I went through, that I either, blacked out of, remembering, or just the medications that I was on were numbing me so much that I didn't realize it was too traumatic. I don't know, but I'm remembering it now, and I think that that's why it's affecting me more often and more just on a deeper level nowadays than it used to. I don't know, but Mitch and my stepdad made me mow the yard with a push mower, the front and the backyard. I had never mowed a lawn before, wasn't really sure how to do it, and it was really hot outside. It was summer. It had to have been 90 to 100 degrees, and this was in Missouri, so the humidity was just, oh my god. And anyway, so what happened was there's a bug flying around me. Go away. I was told I could not re-enter the house until it was done. It took me a while to figure out how to even do it, how to muster up the strength to do it, because I was weak. I was anorexic. I was only about 85 pounds. At that time, I was still wearing size 00 jeans, which aren't a thing anymore, but if you guys remember, the vibrations of the mower handle were so intense, my hands were becoming covered with bubbled blisters and calluses, and my hands were bleeding. I was in a lot of pain. And so I came inside to show my parents my hands and to ask that I stop, but was forced back outside. They literally, both of them, they forced me outside and they locked the doors on me. I didn't even have time to grab my water that I had left on the counter when I re-entered. So I'm outside, my hands are bleeding. I have no water. It's really hot. I'm 85 pounds. I'm pushing a push mower that's vibrating so intensely that it's causing me to need medical attention. They didn't give me any gloves. They didn't. Here's the point where I'm not extremely sad. I'm still very hurt, but I am pissed off. I am full of so much anger. So it took me probably like 2 hours at least, and I kept trying to get in the house, and they were like, no, you cannot be in here. I was locked out. They shut the blinds on me, so it's like, whatever. And I finally finished, and I was pounding on the back door to let them know I'm done. Like, come out, check. Let me in. I'm done. I did it. I'm exhausted. Well, they came out to check, and it wasn't the way they wanted it to be. I hadn't done a good enough job, so they're like, stay out here until you get it right. That's how my stepdad was, is you do it the way I want it. You figure out how I want it. I'm not going to tell you. You should know. And if you can't figure it out, stay out there until you figure it out. So when I finally got it done, my hands were tore up from fingertips to my palms. They didn't give me any gloves, when I showed them the first time. And they didn't give me any medical attention once I finished. I just sat in my room crying. I was exhausted, very thirsty, and badly injured. And I was maybe 12 at this time. I was probably 12. We had a cat, and her name, I wasn't allowed to name her, which I really wanted to name her, but I wasn't allowed to. My stepdad he ended up naming her. He wouldn't let me, and he named her Pewter because she was gray, like the metal pewter, which I still don't know what the hell that is, but he says it's a metal, so Pewter was her name. She used to do the cutest little thing where she would army crawl like this on the on the sidewalk and stuff, and she always greeted me when I came home. If you guys remember in my last video, I begged her to ask me how my day at school was, to give me a hug when I came home, to, you know, just show me affection, care about me, and she told me she can't love me. She doesn't know how to love anything or anyone, and that's not gonna happen. Well, that cat, I'm gonna try and look at the positive right now. That cat always greeted me when I came home. She would jump up on the couch. She knew when I was gonna be there. She was so excited. She couldn't wait to see me. And she would greet me, and she would give me kisses, and she'd ask for pets, and she was just the sweetest little thing. And then it was the first time the first and only time that I ever felt love in that house was from the cat. And one day I came home from school and she wasn't there. Mitch was strung out on prescription painkillers like always. She's always been abusing them my whole life. And she hadn't even noticed that she was missing. And she didn't care either when I was the one to tell her that she's gone. We need to find her. I need her. She's the one good thing about this house. Come to find out, Mitch was strung out and she left the front door open. Supposedly, that's what she told me she thought might have happened, was that she left the door open. Well, anyways, I asked her, well, when did you do that? How long ago? And she's like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. And I was like, no, freaking when? What time of the day? Morning, afternoon, just shortly before I got home from getting off the bus. Because my parents never took me to or from school. Maybe like 20 times, maybe, in the 10 years I was with her. Other than that, we rode the bus. Because she was always asleep. She had blackout curtains in her room. She never wanted to wake up, do anything. She never really cleaned. She never really went outside. She never really did anything unless it was going shopping, sleeping, and abusing me. So, or drugs. So, anyway, so what happened was I asked her, let's go find her. Let's go look. She's got to be in the neighborhood somewhere. We have to find her. She's like, I don't care. I don't care. That was her personality. She's like, if she comes back, she comes back. If she doesn't, then she doesn't want to be here. That's her fault. That's her problem. So I spent probably a good hour, maybe 2, walking the cul-de-sac, looking around the yard, calling for her, and I never found her. And that was really hard for me. It was really, really hard for me. But we ended up finding her about 2 years later when we were packing up the house to move. She had gotten into the shed in the backyard and curled up into a, one of those cat scratcher tower things. And she died there because she couldn't get out. And it was really hot. She had definitely gotten at least, 4 months to a year older before we found her, so she had been dead for at least a year. When I saw her, I just started crying and I said, and I asked Mitch, I said, is that Pewter? Is that Pewter? And she goes, let me see if I can say it the way, like, she had no emotion in her voice at all. Like, she didn't care. She was like, no, that's not Pewter. That's just some stray cat that doesn't matter. And I'm like, no, that's Pewter. That's gotta be her. That, like, it has to be her. I mean, what other gray cat is going to get into our shed? You know, her age at this moment reflects when she went missing. It all made sense to me, and I was only like 14 or something. 13 or 14, something like that. You know, and she just was like, no, it's not. Who cares? Whatever. Like, stop crying. Get over it. Help me. Like, we're not gonna deal with this anymore. And I watched her. I watched her throw her in the trash. And before that, Mitch had killed 2 guinea pigs by feeding them popcorn. The kernels had totally tore up its intestines. It was bleeding internally. And we didn't get to say goodbye to them or anything like that. She just took them into her bedroom and kept telling us that she was taking care of them. She didn't take them to a vet. She didn't do anything like that a pet owner who really loves their animals would do. She just kept telling us they'll be fine. You know, I'm force feeding water down their mouths. They'll be fine. We'll flush it out. I wake up the next morning and they're gone. And I asked her what happened, and she said, well, I was too tired to take care of them. I fell asleep and they died. And she didn't care. She didn't care. They have either purposely killed or not purposely killed. That's one. 7 pets that I know of. Dogs, cats, guinea pigs. It's twisted. It really is. Another story I want to get into, I think that I will save for another time. I really just want to relax tonight. I wanted to get a little bit out. And I will record another one. I might end up putting them together. I will go ahead and do an outro just in case this is the one video. There will be many, many more. There's a lot to discuss and a lot to talk about. I know I told you guys that I would discuss how Mitch and my stepdad tried to get me drunk. How the police got involved in that, and how I was threatened and all that by my parents. Anyways, so I am adding a little something. I forgot something that is really important since we were already on the subject of my parents killing animals. I thought I'd talk about our min pin, Max, and how amazing and precious he was. And he was so little, so little. He was only about this big, and he was fully grown. He was so tiny, so little. But he was so full of energy. Like, oh my gosh, he was always... If you know anything about min pins, they are wild. You know, if they get off the leash, they just whoop, 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 whoop. Like, it's impossible almost to catch them, and they just are so energetic and so full of life and so wonderful, but also a handful. We had 2 min pins. We had Sadie and we had Max, and they fell in love. They had a litter of puppies, and Max didn't get to grow up with his family. Mitch got rid of all of the dogs, all of them, every single one, ripped away from their parents rather young. When I say get rid of, I don't mean they killed them. You know, she found homes for them, at least I believe. I don't have any memories of them, you know, killing the puppies, but not too long after that, my stepdad, my eyes starting to twitch from stress. My stepdad was coming home. Max was on the leash, and the leash only went out about 4 feet into the driveway, and we had a very large driveway with a huge amount of grass on one side. You can totally avoid Max. Oh, hold on a second. Hold on. I'm gonna put my happy face on. No tears, because my husband just got home from his hike, and when I get emotional, he gets emotional, and yeah. So, anyways, I'm going to try and be quiet so he doesn't have to hear all of the horrific details, and I'm gonna compose myself extremely because I don't like to fall apart around people. I really don't, because I don't ever want my emotions to hurt the people around me. It makes me feel even worse, and it makes me feel guilty that I've inflicted pain on someone, and that's not the kind of person I am. So, I hope you guys can hear me, but what happened is could have avoided. Sorry, I name dropped. My stepdad could have avoided killing Max, but he chose to take our dog's life. My stepdad was pulling in. Max ran out. You know, he was excited. He wanted to greet his dad, you know. Hey, Daddy, what's up? I missed you. You know how dogs do. Well, my stepdad was like going a little bit and stopping, and he probably did that 3 or 4 times. He's yelling out the window, Max, get away from the car, move. But let me tell you guys something. There was no reason for him to pull up, to drive up in his car 3 feet from the front door. There was no reason for that. We had a good 12 feet, further that he could have pulled in. He wanted to pull up close to the door because he's a lazy. And, any person that really loves their animal would have reversed, reversed, and they would have moved the car further away and then parked. But what he ended up doing was so bad, and I actually watched it with my own eyes, and my sister and Mitch did not believe me. They didn't care. And, after yelling at Max multiple times, stop and go, like, Max wasn't listening. He should have been the adult, and he should have just turned the car off. He was already in the driveway. We had a long driveway, about, well over 20 feet, like huge. Like, we had a driveway as long as my trailer. Probably longer. So it was just completely pointless. He took his life because he wanted to. And he finally, I'm watching this out the kitchen window. So I saw it with my own eyes. My sister and Mitch did not, but my stepdad knows what he did. And I know what you did because I saw it. I was about 15 at the time, and I watched him get very upset, lose his temper, and he just yelled to Max, and he said, "Get you stupid shit," and ran over him with the car. I watched him purposely run him over. And, after he ran him over is when he finally turned the car off. And let me tell you, he was throwing such a big fit over pulling the car in 2 more feet. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. But anyways, after he ran him over, he gets out of the car and he just yells, "Max is dead! Max is dead! He got hit by the car!" And he's like, "That stupid like blaming it on the dog," and it was all him. He did it on purpose, and we lost Max that day. He didn't make it 20 minutes after being ran over. So they kill a lot of pets. They do. And that's just the way it is. They're sick and twisted and disgusting, and yeah. But I had to throw that in, you guys, since we were already on this topic, and I wanted to discuss that anyways, so yeah, I'm gonna throw this in. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this helps you guys. I know this video isn't as long as my other ones. My other ones have been like a half an hour to an hour. I have a lot to I just want to say these things out loud. I want to hold them accountable. I want the world to know what I went through and that it's not okay, but that you can make a good life for yourself. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay fantabulous, and as always, I'll stay fantabulous for you guys. Do the best I can every day to be as upbeat and happy and as positive as I can, but even when your life is great, there is still sorrow. Sometimes you still feel unlovable and worthless and scared, and I have baggage. I'm real. I'm an honest person. This is me. This is a side of me that I'm tired of hiding and feeling ashamed about, and like I can't say anything because there's so many other people going through this type of stuff, or even worse, like at this moment. And you know, it's like what I'm going through is in the past. I should get over it. Like, you know, I want to be able to help people by pulling the veil off, you know? Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye guys.